signs of a bad CV joint versus CV axle, symptoms to look out for while driving, what it costs to fix, and how to replace each one of them. There are few feelings more unsettling than hearing strange clicking noises when turning, feeling vibrations during acceleration, or sensing that something just isn't right with the front end of your car. Most people immediately assume it's the suspension or the wheel bearing, but one of the most common causes of these symptoms is a failing CV joint or a worn CV axle. The frustrating part is that both parts can create similar noises and vibrations, so it becomes difficult for everyday drivers to figure out which one is actually failing. And on top of that, driving with either issue can be dangerous depending on how worn it is. Today, I'm going to break down the real signs of a bad CV joint versus a bad CV axle, how each one behaves while driving, how long you can drive before it becomes unsafe, exactly how much it costs to fix them, and finally, a full step-by-step guide of what's actually involved in replacing a CV axle. So, by the end of this video, you will fully understand the entire system and what to do next. So, what do CV joints and CV axles actually do? Before you can identify symptoms, you need to understand what these parts actually do. A CV axle is the component that transfers power from your transmission to your wheels. It's the piece that physically turns your wheel under power. But the axle alone can't move correctly without flexibility, especially when your suspension moves up and down or when your wheels turn left or right. That is where CV joints come in. A CV joint is located at both ends of the axle. The outer CV joint connects to the wheel hub and allows the wheels to turn while still sending power. The inner CV joint connects to the transmission and moves in and out to allow the suspension to travel. These joints are protected by rubber boots filled with grease. When the boots tear or the joint wears down, you start hearing noises because the joint loses lubrication and begins grinding metal against metal. Knowing that difference is the key to understanding symptoms. A CV joint is a part in the axle, and the axle is the entire assembly. So the symptoms you hear or feel tell you a lot about which part is actually failing. Now let's transition into how these symptoms show up differently. Moving on to signs and symptoms of a bad outer CV joint. The outer CV joint is usually the first one to fail because it deals with the most movement and stress. If you've ever heard a clicking or popping sound while turning sharply left or right, that is the classic hallmark of an outer CV joint going bad. The louder and more rhythmic the clicking becomes, the more worn the joint is. Outer CV joint failure typically starts quietly. At first, you may only hear it when taking tight turns in a parking lot. Later, the clicking grows louder and more persistent, eventually happening even during mild turns. The clicking is caused by the joint's internal bearings wearing out and losing their smooth rotation. Instead of gliding, the bearings bind, skip, and clash inside the joint, creating that unmistakable clicking rhythm that speeds up with the rotation of the wheel. If the CV boot is torn, grease will fling out onto the wheel well, and dirt will enter the joint, accelerating wear dramatically. Once you see grease splattered around, you can assume that CV joint damage is already underway. Signs of a bad inner CV joint. Inner CV joint symptoms are very different, and this is where many people misdiagnose their vehicle. Instead of clicking, a bad inner CV joint creates vibrations or shuddering during acceleration. If you press the gas and feel the front end of the car shake, especially between 20 and 45 mm, there's a strong chance the inner joint is worn. These vibrations are often mistaken for a tire imbalance or a bent wheel. The difference is that inner CV joint vibration usually happens only under acceleration. When you let off the gas, the vibration fades instantly. A bent wheel or tire imbalance would vibrate constantly at certain speeds, regardless of acceleration. Inner CV joints can also cause a clunk or thump when shifting from drive to reverse because of excess play inside the joint. This play allows the axle to snap forward or backward when torque is suddenly applied. Now, onto the signs and symptoms of a bad CV axle, the complete assembly. If both CV joints are worn or if the axle shaft itself is damaged, the symptoms become more intense and more unpredictable. A failing CV axle can produce a knocking noise while driving straight, which is different from the clicking noise you hear during turns. You may also feel severe vibrations even at higher speeds, and sometimes the axle will cause the steering wheel to pull or feel unstable. A weakened CV axle can also cause the car to jerk or hesitate during acceleration, especially if the inner joint can no longer slide smoothly. This hesitation feels like the power delivery is inconsistent, as if the car surges forward and then softens repeatedly. A fully failing axle can also create grinding or metallic noises when driving straight, which is a sign that internal components are collapsing. At this stage, the axle is close to breaking and should not be driven. Driving with a bad CV joint or axle, how long is it safe? Driving with a bad CV joint is risky, but the level of danger depends on which joint is failing and how severe the wear is. A bad outer CV joint typically gives warnings for a long time through clicking noises before it becomes dangerous. You can usually drive for weeks or even months once the clicking begins, although doing so will only worsen the damage. However, once the clicking becomes loud or constant, the joint can lock up or break unexpectedly. If the joint breaks, the wheel will no longer receive power and the car may become uncontrollable. Driving with a bad inner CV joint is more concerning because inner joints deal with torque during acceleration. A severely worn inner joint can cause violent shaking that affects steering control. In extreme cases, the inner joint can separate, causing the axle to drop and leaving the vehicle unable to move. If this happens while driving, especially at high speeds, the results can be catastrophic. Driving with a failing CV axle is the most dangerous of all. If the axle breaks completely, your car will immediately lose power to the wheels. On front-wheel drive cars, this can also cause damage to the transmission. If the axle breaks while driving in traffic or at highway speeds, it can lead to loss of control or sudden stopping that puts you and others at risk. So while it is technically possible to drive for a little while with mild symptoms, continuing to drive with worsening symptoms is a gamble. The moment vibrations intensify or clicking becomes loud, the vehicle should be repaired immediately. Cost to fix a bad CV joint versus CV axle. Costs vary depending on the car, but replacing a CV axle is usually cheaper and easier than replacing a single CV joint. Many modern axles aren't designed for joint-only replacement, so the entire axle is replaced as a unit. This simplifies repairs and prevents future failure. On average, a CV axle replacement ranges from about $150 to $400 for most vehicles, including parts and labor. Luxury models, AWD vehicles, and trucks may fall into higher price ranges. If the shop replaces only a CV boot and repacks the joint, the repair can be cheaper, but this is rarely recommended because worn joints eventually fail anyway. DIY replacement reduces cost drastically. A new aftermarket axle can cost anywhere from $60 to $120, making it one of the more affordable drivetrain repairs for those who are comfortable with basic tools. How to replace a CV axle. Replacing a CV axle may sound intimidating, but it's actually one of the simpler drivetrain repairs. The process begins with safely lifting the vehicle and removing the wheel. Once the wheel is off, the axle nut must be removed. This nut is usually torqued very tightly, so using a breaker bar or an impact wrench makes the job much easier. With the axle nut removed, the next step is disconnecting the lower ball joint or control arm to create enough clearance for the axle to slide out of the wheel hub. Once the suspension opens enough, the outer end of the axle can be pushed out of the hub. Sometimes the axle may resist and require a tap from a hammer to break free, but it will eventually slide out. The inner portion of the axle, the part connected to the transmission, is usually held in place by a snap ring. A firm pull or pry from a crowbar will release it from the transmission. Once the old axle is out, installing the new one is simply the reverse of removal. The new axle is pushed into the transmission until the snap ring clicks into place. The outer end is then inserted into the wheel hub. The suspension is reconnected, and the axle nut is tightened to the proper torque specification. Reinstalling the wheel completes the job. After lowering the vehicle, it's best to test drive slowly to ensure there are no noises or vibrations, confirming the new axle is properly seated. Knowing the difference between a bad CV joint and a bad CV axle if you want to stay safe on the road and avoid costly repairs. Clicking noises during turns almost always point to the outer CV joint, while vibrations during acceleration typically come from the inner joint. Severe knocking, shuddering, or unpredictable handling often means the entire axle assembly is worn. Fixing these components early prevents breakdowns and keeps your vehicle stable and reliable. Whether you decide to repair it yourself or take it to a shop, knowing what these symptoms mean allows you to make better decisions and avoid unnecessary anxiety. If this video helped you understand what's happening under your car and gave you the confidence to repair it or diagnose it properly, make sure to subscribe for more detailed automotive guides just like this one.